Best known for playing serving girl Lizzie Wemyss in Outlander, Caitlin Orion certainly gave a memorable turn in the most recent series of the drama. Much like in Diana Gabaldon's novels, Lizzie found herself in a romantic predicament after falling in love with twins Josiah and Keziah Beardsley, played by Paul Gorman, and falling pregnant with uncertainty over the paternity of the child. Reflecting on the storyline, Orion spoke exclusively to Express.co.uk about what's next for her character. To resolve the matter of Lizzie's unplanned pregnancy, Jamie Fraser, Sam Heughan, forced the siblings to pick straws to decide who would marry her. However, the quick-thinking servant managed to dupe Fraser's Ridge's resident minister Roger Mackenzie, Richard Rankin, to perform another ceremony with the other Beardsley twin. Thus, all three were joined in holy matrimony with a baby on the way, while the rest of Frasers were left perplexed by the situation. Reflecting on the storyline in Season 6, Orion said, "I think that people think that it was a shock to me as much as it was to them, like the people who weren't the book readers." However, this wasn't the case for Orion, who actually auditioned for Outlander with a scene from this storyline, with the lines being lifted from Gabaldon's novels. Orion said, "When I got that character breakdown, it was like, Lizzie is this indentured servant character and she's going to have a big growth throughout her seasons and she's going to do something quite surprising. But I knew, and thankfully for fan Wikipedia, I knew this was about to happen. It was surprising, but also I thought it was really cool." In a way, Lizzie is a woman ahead of her time too. It felt very progressive. Nonetheless, Orion admitted she was surprised when she first found out, but said knowing early on meant she could build it into her portrayal of Lizzie. "I always try to play Lizzie with a little bit of a twinkle in her eye for men. She's on this flirtatious, growing into a woman, sexual awakening journey. So it was nice to have that information earlier on," she explained. She admitted when the Season 6 scripts came through for Lizzie's pivotal scene, which saw her speak to Claire Fraser, Katrina Balfe, about being pregnant and sleeping with both of the Beardsley twins, it was quite funny to read. Orion said it was more comical in the novel due to it being a case of mistaken identity, but hit differently in the TV show because it came not long after Malva Christie, Jessica Reynolds, had been murdered. "I think the writers really wanted it to not be a question of whether Lizzie had had advantage taken of her. They wanted it to be like she knew what she was doing and she is solid in that decision," Orion explained. "I really had to separate my own preconceptions as a 25-year-old modern woman from Lizzie's innocence and lust for life and excitement and this journey that she's going on and taking ownership of her own sexuality and body and the decisions that she makes on those things." In fact, Orion said in terms of her character, "This scene was huge for Lizzie, this moment is life or death for her. It's high stakes. It's the highest stakes. She loves these people and she can't see what's wrong with it, and I think she's been surrounded by these strong women like Claire and Brianna, who defy all to be with the people they love, and I think she learned from the best. And I think she has every intention of staying with these boys." She went on to admit it was a relief the read-through for the story took place over Zoom due to COVID, allowing her to focus on her script without having to worry about her co-stars' reactions. "Everyone else was on mute because I think if I'd been in the room with people, having to say some of the lines with people laughing, I think it would have just thrown me," she said. "They're on mute. I'm just going to say the lines and get through it." Shooting the scene was a more serious affair, with Orion saying the cast and crew didn't want to cheapen the plot point by making it humorous. The stars said, "I wanted to do the scene justice for Lizzie, a character who I have grown to love and have had the pleasure of growing up alongside. I was also aware this was a book reader fan fave moment, so wanted it to land. It's also important that whilst the scene is humorous and surprising, polyamory is a way of life for some people, and we wanted to respect that too." Outlander marks Orion's most high-profile part to date after training at the Oxford School of Drama. She always wanted to be a performer and first started out at the tender age of 8 in her native Manchester at the Oldham Theatre Workshop. Her mother, who was a teacher, took Orion to the theatre workshop because "I was always a kid who liked performing." Orion was in good company there, with many Coronation Street alumni starting out at the workshop, including Gentleman Jack star Saran Jones and Weatherfield favourite Anthony Cotton. Some more recent stars include House of the Dragon's Olivia Cooke and Millie Gibson, who has been cast in Doctor Who. The actress was part of the workshop up until she was 19, performing twice a year in their productions. Hailing the Oldham Theatre Workshop, Orion said, "What was so amazing about that place? I credit that place as making me the person that I am and the actor that I am." She added her teachers really worked with her and other aspiring artists and really made them feel like their voices mattered. Orion went on to study at drama school before graduating and said it was tough going into the industry, moving to London and working 5 jobs, which varied from teaching people ping pong, having never played table tennis in her life, to serving as an Airbnb meet and greeter, to support herself as she went to auditions. But working the 5 jobs took their toll, and she admitted when she went home for Christmas she was left broken and exhausted, with her parents telling her that working like that wasn't sustainable. She explained, "I just felt like I was burning both edges with a notoriously expensive city leaving her out of pocket and time poor. So it was getting to the point where I was thinking, this isn't viable anymore." Orion was considering whether she could keep going on when the audition for Lizzie came through in the new year. She said, "I remember getting the character breakdown and thinking, I'm never ever going to get this role. She's 14, blonde, malnourished, 5 feet 2 inches, all the things I'm not. I remember it coming through in the depths of my exhaustion. It was a lot of work, it was 3 scenes I have to prepare. But after watching the first EP of Outlander, it was something I knew I'd love to be a part of." Orion managed to shake herself out of it and made a self-tape and was excited by Lizzie's progression. But she said she didn't watch them back and sent them off because she felt she had no chance of getting the part. On the flip side, this meant she was able to relax and have fun with the scenes. It was only when her agent called to tell her she clinched the role did it hit home her hard work has finally paid off. "I literally burst into tears and it was like an X Factor moment," she said. "For the first time for me, it was just being validated and actually saying to you, you can be an actor and someone employing you. And after everything, someone believing in you. I think for me that was the biggest joy." Adding, "I'm extremely grateful to the show and the producers. Playing Lizzie has been so much fun." She is now a firm part of the Outlander family, with the show likely to pave the way for bigger things. Her co-star Lauren Lyle, better known as Marcely Fraser, confronted the ITV crime drama Karen Perry earlier this year, while Fergus Fraser star Caesar Domboy is appearing in Sunday night BBC drama SAS Rogue Heroes. Like the rest of the Outlander cast, Orion is now filming on Season 7, which will be double the length of its predecessor after Starz gave the forthcoming run a 16-episode order to compensate for such a short Series 6. Along with acting, Orion has branched out into spoken word poetry and performing her work back in September. She's since recorded a version of her poem Yes is Complex focusing on the issue of consent and plans to release some poetry books of her work. Orion is also working on her own podcast Have You Got Your Shit Together?, which she's hoping to get out in early January, as well as making some short films. Outlander Season 6 is available on Blu-ray and DVD now.